Even in modern times, the Colosseum in Rome remains a breathtaking structure to behold. The vast stadium would have been even more spectacular to ancient viewers when it first housed an audience in the year 80 AD. This is because two-thirds of the giant construction had been destroyed by natural calamities, or robbed for its stone prior to this time. It didn't take long for the enormous monument to become one of the most well-known buildings in the storied capital of the land. Today, you will get a glimpse of what it was like to be a spectator at the Colosseum in Rome. During the time of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum was officially known as the Flavian Amphitheater. This name was given to the structure in honor of Vespasian, the emperor. He commissioned its construction in the Flavian Dynasty, which he established in the late 1st century AD. However, during their reigns, the Flavians were given the title of Caesar, as is customary for all Roman emperors. Hence, the large arena was most likely referred to as Caesar's Amphitheater during those times. The word Colosseum did not appear until several centuries later, around the 11th century AD. It is possible that the enormous statue of Emperor Nero that stood just outside the amphitheater was the inspiration for the name. In addition to these more well-known names, the arena was also known as Hunting Theater and Ovum, which literally translates to the egg. However, the majority of people who lived in Rome during the period referred to the Colosseum as just the arena or cave, which was the term for stadium seating at the time. It is not hard to understand why the Colosseum was the only arena in the city that actually mattered, because it was the largest amphitheater of the ancient world. The best arena in Rome offered more excitement to spectators than any other attraction of the period, which was saying a lot, given that lavish entertainment was very difficult to get during that era. People were diverted by the entertainment. Unluckily, a large number of Romans lived in poverty and endured difficult lives, scraping by on a subsistence level of income. Even if they were fortunate enough to have a job, life was still difficult for them, and the idea of even temporarily evacuating their problems was extremely appealing to them. There was no charge for entering the Colosseum, meaning that absolutely any Roman could enjoy the extravagant acts and spectacles that were held there. The bread was also provided for free to the audience in the breaks between performances, which served as a fantastic method to entice people who came with empty stomachs. However, the emperors got a lot back in return for putting on free performances at the Colosseum, proving that the old adage, "There's no such thing as a free lunch," is absolutely correct. Not only did this result in an increase in their popularity, but the emperors rapidly realized that they could more easily exert their authority over the populace by providing expensive entertainment and food for their subjects. In the late 1st century AD, the poet Juvenal made a particularly astute observation regarding this topic, when he coined the now famous term, bread and circuses. Large halls and stairs helped spectators reach their seats. It was not simple to gather 50,000 spectators into a vast arena in an orderly manner, but the Romans managed to pull this off through creative construction, using various arches and vaults, which gave it the appearance of a honeycomb to spectators, who approached the Colosseum from the outside. In addition to the 4 main doors and more than 70 entrance doors that led to the upper floors of the building, there were also a number of lesser entrances that served the lower levels of the building. Tickets to the Colosseum were given out to spectators first before they could enter. These tickets were clay tokens that stated their section, row, and seat numbers. Modern-day sports venues are similar to the Colosseum in this regard. The Romans were fully aware of the potential danger that could be caused by thousands of people moving through tunnels, so they planned the building with safety zones near stairways and entrances in order to limit congestion. This is similar to how the majority of modern stadiums are designed. The interior of the Colosseum was similarly planned, in such a way as to be as uncomplicated as feasible by the architect who designed it. The arena had entrances that led only to certain areas, hence, the door a spectator entered initially decided where they might walk within the stadium, thereby restricting their movement throughout the rest of the facility. Because of this, viewers were able to locate their seats with relative ease using their tickets. Seating was determined and assigned in accordance with one's social class. it's possible that any Roman citizen could have entered the Colosseum. Still, their position in Roman society was the primary factor in determining where they could sit once inside. The stadium seating in the amphitheater was segmented into 5 different tiers based on the social class of the spectators. Therefore, unless someone was trying to get away with something, they knew which entry into the arena they were required to utilize to go to the appropriate portion of the venue. It is quite plausible that scalpers existed, so spectators probably devised ways to get past the laws to gain better seats. As the level closest to the arena sands, the first tier was right in the middle of all the action. Only the most powerful people in Rome, like the emperor, senators, and religious leaders like the Vestal Virgins, were allowed to sit in these prized seats. The next level was for rich businessmen. The third level was for any commoner who could afford a toga. The fourth level was for men who couldn't afford a toga. Finally, the upper gallery was for women, children, and slaves from lower-class families. On the other hand, aristocratic and wealthy women could sit with their rich husbands in the lower tiers. Concessions and souvenirs were available. The streets in the area surrounding the Colosseum and other Roman amphitheaters were filled with the enticing scent of countless small shops, serving a wide variety of different types of ancient fast food. Attendees had the opportunity to purchase fresh bread, fruit and vegetables, hot sausages, chickpeas, and pastries, all while they were on the go. Other vendors sold products such as gladiatorial programs or trinkets such as oil lamps with images of famous gladiators painted on them. These items were sold by the vendor. Once inside the massive arena, fans had the opportunity to enjoy various refreshments made available to the public by stewards during brief pauses in the action. In addition to the trays of pastries, cakes, and dates that were offered, there were also jugs of wine that could be passed out to the attendees. Despite this, a sizable portion of the audience was still required to leave for lunch at some point during the midday performance, which acted as a more extended interlude. Most people did not venture very far, opting instead to purchase food and beverages at the numerous pubs and bars. Lots of spectators place bets on arena competitions. The ever-present presence of gambling in sports, such as boxing and horse racing, is another significant connection between the past and the present. Not only were gladiator contests in the Colosseum a wonderful joy for spectators who got to witness their favorite celebrity compete in the most impressive arena, but the Romans also got a lot of thrills out of betting on their selected warriors, which added to the overall excitement of the spectacle. Even though gambling was legally prohibited, it was a prevalent practice among nobles, the poorer classes, and pretty much everyone from all walks of life. Even the gladiators wagered their money on contests that involved their fellow combatants. Bets were routinely placed before the beginning of a battle, which led to a significant increase in the tension that existed prior to the start of the battle. It is possible that the sum of money that was at stake contributed significantly to the fiery enthusiasm with which the crowd booed the life of a defeated warrior who was about to be eliminated from the competition. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to like it and hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.